with her. Go talk to her. No.
If this is you and you are so tired of seeing beautiful women and not being able to approach because you feel anxious or you don't know what to say or you feel like you're going to be coming across as creepy, please reach out to me. There is a strategy so that you never have to worry about going up to a woman and making a great first impression.
It's always the faceless, private accounts that have the most to say, isn't it?
So men, if you're listening and you're like, what am I missing? Start to yearn. It's time to yearn. I was dating a boy in high school and he was a big yearner. Let me rephrase. We didn't date because he was yearning for me for 9 months, long enough to carry
That
a full
is the
childhood
hard
term.
thing about loving a yearner is that you're probably never going to date them.
He would drive really far, like 30 minutes to pick me up from school, and he would have a new gift for me every time he picks me up. One time it was a Vera Bradley satchel.
And
one time it was a Juicy Couture watch.
Oh my God, what happened to him?
He cheated on me. So.
Oh my goodness. This is just seriously too funny not to reply to. This individual is of the opinion that I actually subscribe to woke ideologies. I mean, if anything else didn't say that that person has never watched any of my content, I don't know what does. And talk bad about minorities. Really? How so? Please explain when I've ever generalized any group of people or talked about any group of people as a whole. That should be fun. And by the way, guess who can hear dog whistles?
Guys don't approach girls at the bars anymore.
I do.
I don't expect guys to come up to me, but I know the caliber of my friends and I know what those look like, and they are some stunning. If guys aren't going up to them, guys aren't going up to fucking anyone. So I think if you're going up to girls at the bar in the first place, whether you say hi, whether you say, can I buy you a drink, whether you use Nick's line, which is a great line, by the way.
Thank you.
I think you have a million times better of a shot.
Yeah, I mean,
you really don't have all that much competition because guys aren't going up to girls. It's not like 15 guys are going up to a girl in a night to tell her how pretty she is. She probably gets one a night.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
When people say I should be nicer to men, but this is modern chivalry.
Like, actually? Like, actually?
I can't believe he actually let the door slam in my face. That's actually crazy.
Okay, so this chick is mad pressed because I guess she was expecting this guy to do the thing where, like, when you're holding the door open, you look behind you to make sure that no one else is coming through, which I personally do and I recommend doing no matter what gender you are. It's just a general courtesy. But my question is, why was she recording? That's always the first question I ask in these situations. Why was the phone out and why were you recording? Because now I'm wondering if you did this on purpose. Like, if you were literally just waiting out to run out at the last opportunity so you could get this, like, victimhood on camera. Because this looks avoidable. Because from our angle, it looks like the guy just did not bother to look around at all, leaving the door to slam in your face, which, yeah, maybe not the most courteous guy of all time, but also, that's not mandatory. Good thing you're not dating him. Bad thing you absolutely had to have your recording phone in your hand instead of in your pocket or a bag so that you had absolutely no way of catching the door as it closed. And this is the difference between a person who is grateful for random acts of kindness versus a person who simply feels entitled to random acts of kindness to the point that they don't even have enough self-preservation to take care of themselves. They just expect everyone else around them to do that for them. Like, unless you made eye contact with him, why would you assume he even saw you? I don't know, y'all. What do you think? Do I think it's typically a good habit to look behind you when you're opening a door in public? Absolutely, I do. But if there is no eye contact, man, this is just Darwinism. Just be glad you didn't spill that whole drink all over your dumb ass.
A lot of women are very jealous of male friendships. Guys who, you know, when they see their men interact with other men and they witness those male friendships, women will get very jealous. Why? Because they don't have that in their own relationships a lot. When you see these guys, they're, you know, the Justins and the Sterlings, and you see them, and even like Tristan and Andrew, you see like a real sense of brotherhood there, right? You just do, right? Whether you like those guys or not, or whether you like what they're about, or that's irrelevant. To each other, those men have really formed a sense of, you know, I will have your back. I will be here. Like, it's 3 a.m. and you called me and there's a problem. What do you need? Like, where do I need to be?
The man that plays Dracula is no Chris Hemsworth.
No.
All right. The amount of girls on social media that are saying he is the most attractive man to me is because of the way Dracula yearns. This is unlike any yearning I have ever seen before in my life. And everyone's saying you're either a witch or a Dracula girl. I fear I'm a Dracula girl.
I think I'm a Dracula girl.
You know how every guy right now in the city is like trying to be
JFK Jr.
Yes.
and it's so unbelievably
It's
cringe.
so cringy. I'm hoping the narrative shifts and more men watch Dracula and they try to be Dracula.
You know who yearns? I will say, I hate to be bragging, but my boyfriend yearns.
No, he does
not.
not.
He does. Yes, he does.
A lot of these men used to worry about losing a woman. Man, she's so fine, man. I worked really hard to get her. But over time, they find out she's a nuisance and a headache. And so now they're like, please leave. What can we do to dissolve this relationship? You are an issue.
But mind you, we have the same thing.
You want a trophy? Some illnesses affect people differently. I mean, a few years ago, that's a great example. Some people were like, oh, it's just like a cold, and then other people were literally in the hospital. It doesn't mean he's weak or something. I mean, this is so weird to me, how invalidating women are to men being sick. Isn't that the man that you love? Isn't that the man of your dreams right there? Where's the respect? Where's the empathy? Where's the care? Great, you have more energy, perfect. That means you can take care of him and the kids a little bit easier. Isn't it better that one of you feel a little bit better than the other? So at least one of you guys can keep up with everything? Why does it have to be a competition? You both can feel like crap at the same time, that's okay. I don't get it, trying to compete with your partner on not feeling good or being sick, like...
Stay away from promiscuous women. That was my warning. So I got approached by a female friend of mine at the gym who said she didn't like what I said. And I said, what's wrong with what I said? And she just felt that it was disrespectful and what applies for women should apply to men. I had to quickly remind her that men and women are not the same. She said, well, you shouldn't talk like that. I said, remember, you are on a male channel. This is how men talk. The conversation proceeded where she said, there's no more real men anymore here. Women want men to talk like them. They want to police our speech. But then when we become more like them, they don't want us. The men are too feminine. Ladies, can you see the problem? You want us to become more like women. You want us to talk like women. And then you complain when you don't get men. Please tell us, how the can we do both? Please let me know. Any ladies out there, because men are confused as all we're trying to do is get along with you all.
Yeah, so I just walked into a coffee shop to get a coffee and I brought my book bag because I thought I was going to sit and do some work.
Obviously, there was some problem that prevented that. Otherwise, someone wouldn't be making this video.
There's like 5 guys in there. It's all dudes, no women.
Oh, how awful. Men in a public space.
And one of them's laughing, the other one's talking really loud, telling a story. The one dude's talking to the barista over the counter. I was like, I'm out. I'm out.
Of course. But wait until you hear the reason why.
Anytime you guys are having a little too much fun, I'm out. You suck. I don't want to hear your voices, especially if you're talking loud. You. I actually hate all of you. You're having a good time? I'm out. I'm out.
And who says that misandry doesn't exist in the wild? Oh yes, gentlemen, there are some women out there that will get so upset about you minding your own business and having a good time in a public space, I might add, that they will have to then go off to their car and make a social media rant all about it.
Where are the men? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, where you at? I done been to the gym. I done been to Target. I done been everywhere. Like, where are you? Where do you be at? Where do y'all be at? Where's the men? Where's the men that want wives? Like, where are you? Where are you looking at? Because obviously you're not looking over here. Like, what's wrong? Like, where do we find men at? Like, where?
You cannot make this stuff up. You can't. Right? If you're asking this question in 2026, you've missed the plot, right? That ship may have sailed already. In 2026, you're asking where are the men? Yeah. I got nothing for you. If you don't know by now, I got nothing for you. What I'm looking forward to is the crash out from Valentine's Day. Okay, you're gonna have modern women boohoo-whining and complaining, crashing out because men are simply not giving them gifts or they're realizing that they're a jump off. or some of them know that they're a jump off and they're demanding gifts anyways, right? From guys clapping their cheeks once a week. Yeah, they're demanding gifts from those guys. Okay, guys that are not even committed to them, not their boyfriends, not their fiancés or husbands or anything of that sort. Demanding a gift from men.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
A lot of these modern women want equality and everything, but I want equality and this and that, but they don't want equality and difficulty. they don't want equality and accountability. They don't want equality and responsibility. They don't want equality and integrity. They don't want none of that. Don't give me no parts of that.
I wouldn't really say this is a lesson, but one thing that I've recognized more than ever is how much of a husband's girl that I am. Like, I love my friend so much, but I would rather choose a night in with him than a night out any day of the week. Just so steady and has such a calm and soft presence about him. And he's so logical. Like, when I am so emotional and I want to lash out, he just brings me down to earth. And I feel like everyone needs that. And what do you mean that I get to live with a hot silver fox who pays my bills and buys me treats and tells me I'm pretty and touches my butt? It's just the dream life.
This is what not only appreciation looks like, but what liking your husband looks like. Because did you notice that in the very beginning, all of the list of qualities that she listed in the beginning was all about who her husband is as a person. And what he looks like and what he provides was listed afterward. That is what's telling and what is unfortunately all too rare for most men in relationships. Kudos to this woman because she actually married somebody that she likes based on how she felt about him as a person and not just what he was providing to her. That is the key, ladies. It's not that complicated.
Modern women say they want men to yearn for them like men used to do back in the 90s. What the is a man yearning for?
I don't have any feelings, ever.
It seems like when a woman gets with a man, she's looking at his pockets more than she is anything else about him. And why would a man want to put himself in a situation with a pretty parasite and keep on chasing her when all he's doing is wasting his money?
You're a rest haven for hoes.
She's dating multiple people.
Reasons why you should be dating multiple men at once. No, people are like, oh no, just date one person and then get a real feel for him, then move on to the next. Nuh-uh, we're not wasting time over here. We're dating multiple men at once.
She's not trying to give you any type of reciprocation towards your energy.
When I be around a man, I don't do nothing. I be lazy.
She's not doing anything that the women who men used to yearn for does.
You're damn right.
So what is the benefit of a man yearning for a woman who has no type of skills like the women used to have?
I need an emotional connection.
And does not respect men like women used to when men yearn for them.
You ain't never lied.
The truth is, until the women sweeten up, the juice ain't worth the squeeze.
Whenever I hear that a woman committed some kind of heinous crime against a man, I think, well, what did that man do?
It's crazy how this double standard exists, and if the same video was made but in reverse, it would be taken down in less than 2 seconds. What's kind of weird about videos like this, though, is it completely removes a woman's agency. Whenever a woman does something wrong, we don't sit there and question her motive, her choices, and the facts around what she did and how to hold her accountable. Instead, jumping to what did he do, assuming that he's actually the perpetrator, that's like treating her like she's a child because she can't take accountability for what she did. We have to blame something or somebody else. That's what you do with children. If a 2-year-old breaks something, you often don't directly blame the 2-year-old. You blame the house not being child-proofed. You blame the person watching that child. Also, this just proves that men are literally blamed for everything. There's no evidence at all, and you're already blaming the man. Also, personally, I believe this is why some women are getting a lot worse and more toxic, and they're upping their game. Because they can. Because of videos like this. Because of the overall attitude towards women doing wrong. Women can do better, and I think they should be held to a higher standard than this.
You know, honestly and truly, for some of these ladies, their standards and what they say they want in a man is really not all that bad. The problem is, some of these women ain't what they're looking for. You don't even meet your own standards. And that's what I'm saying. You want a man to be way up here. This the bar. You want him to be above the bar, well above it, and you down here.
I just had 5 grown men walk by, grown, able-bodied men walk by as I struggle and help this poor mother with 3 children carry her stroller down the stairs. They just looked and kept walking. I'm literally like dropping my umbrella and everything. They just keep on walking.
Exactly 3 videos before this one was a news story about how a man that was a security guard was by a sidewalk by a bus station. That security guard saved a woman's life that was not paying attention. She was looking at her phone and about to cross the street right in front of a bus. In the video, you see this man reach out and grab her back with one hand onto the sidewalk, and then he uses his other hand to help keep her standing, but she ends up kind of crashing down to the floor anyways. This woman ended up pressing charges on this man for grabbing her the way that he did. And what was honestly up for debate, according to this woman and some people that were supporting her, was that that man should have asked for consent, that he shouldn't have touched her. So yeah, that's why. That's why a man is not going to handle your bags, and especially anything to do with a child, even if the child is not in the stroller. He doesn't want anything that could come back and fall back on him. It's women screaming for equality and trying to get men in trouble for basically just doing the things that they've always wanted to do. Genuinely, that's the problem.
Why is it that so many men want an independent, self-sufficient woman but appear to be threatened by her strength?
Oh, can I just say this too? How are you in a relationship and you independent? That don't even make sense. Nope. You're interdependent. Right. Interdependent. And in that interdependentness, I think what you're talking about is the energy. So this is what I would say. No heat, no judgment. As women, accomplished women, we have to learn the distinction between testosterone and lady balls. Some women move in testosterone, right, which is very aggressive, not assertive. It's aggressive, it's combative. It can be downright disrespectful for a woman to be walking in testosterone. But lady balls. Lady balls are different. Lady balls, you know how to make him want you to be interdependent. Lady balls, he wants you to go because he's waiting for you to come back. Lady balls, they very different. Testosterone, lady balls. Who wants some lady balls? All right, so we got to be mindful about that, about moving in a very masculine, aggressive way as accomplished women. We can have our power, stand in our power, and give him the space to be.
All right, I need y'all to settle an argument for me before I get a divorce. So I'm making some chicken tenders on the grill, right? It's me, my wife, her daughter, my daughter. They don't like barbecue sauce. She's furious. She's pissed off at me right now because there's something to do with the way this chicken looks. Can somebody tell me? She's like, so this is the one you made for you and your daughter, and this is the one you made for me and my daughter. And I'm like, yeah, this is why I put barbecue sauce on this one because you guys said you don't like barbecue sauce. See, this is like the last couple pieces that'll go there to make the piles just as big. But she's like, you don't see anything wrong with this. And I'm like, what should I see wrong with it? I see 2 piles of chicken. Mine and my daughters have barbecue sauce because we like that, and yours don't because you got. What did I do wrong? Okay, real quick, now that the rest of the tenders are off, Their pile actually looks bigger, in my opinion, which I don't know. She won't tell me what is wrong. She just keeps saying, you can't tell me what's wrong with this. You can't look at this and tell me what's wrong with this. This is one you made for us, and that's one you made for you. Like, what did I do wrong?
Oh, this poor man is so frustrated. I think what's going on is that her and her daughter's chicken doesn't look as good as yours and your daughter's chicken. The big debate that's going on in the comments is who is in the wrong. In my opinion, it would have been nice for him to take that extra step and marinate that chicken in a different flavor or season it differently instead of just leaving it plain. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it should have been expected of him. She's in the wrong for getting upset over her expectation, and definitely in the wrong for then stonewalling him because she won't actually say the words to tell him what is wrong. But then he's in the wrong for putting this on social media. They're both in the wrong. They just need to say sorry and remember that they don't need to get a divorce over chicken tenders.
You know, a lot of these modern women be like, oh man, I need to go find myself. I need to go figure out who I am. I need to be free, thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. But as we know, these modern women out here regretting leaving the good man. Oh, I shouldn't have left. Oh man, I said he was an alpha. He was more of an alpha than you, and he was more of a man than you. And now I realize that all he really wanted me for was to run through me and then put me back out on the street. Will you take me back? No. I called your family, and now your family's blowing up your phone. They want you to take me back. No.
I have called you 5 times. 5 times. This is the that pisses me off.
So wait, why is he partying? Why would crazy be good? I draw a lot of angry women because you gotta go with what you know. Here's one making a false accusation and lashing out. People call this behavior crazy because they don't get it. I've spoken about projection before. That's when you feel something and then you imagine that somebody else did something to cause it even though they didn't. So he's happy because she's angry that he didn't answer the phone.
5 times. This is the that pisses me off.
He knows that she's imagining him doing something bad. Why is that good? Because that means that she cares what he's doing when she's not around. And she's imagining bad things and that he might have done them. And she wouldn't spend her energy on that if she did not like him. She's defending him from other women. So when women get crazy, they're actually just being territorial. Because if I don't know what you're doing, then it could be bad for me. Because you have passed my tests, and now we are connected. So this is my business. Sometimes this is how they say I like you.
I don't want to hear you had your...
We're going to singles mixer night, and this is a pair. And these are our predictions. Someone is going to make a pickup line about the Canadian wildfire. Yeah. Hey girl, is you a Canadian wildfire? Because you take my breath away. I predict that about 5 to 10 guys are going to ask for Snapchat and or Instagram. I predict that someone's going to ask us if we're sisters because they don't have a better pickup line, even though we look nothing alike. I predict that at least 2 guys are going to pretend that they're Swifties, but then they're going to say that their favorite song is Love Story, so then I'll just know that they're doing it just because they think I'm cute. How dare they?
Here's my prediction, okay? I'm viewing 10 years into the future, and I smell cat pee and cat food. I'm sensing that you're going to get with so many guys, but every single time you find a good one, you get the tiniest ick over every single tiny thing. You saw one guy that drank from a straw one time and you dumped him. I'm having revelations.
I'm going to a singles event tomorrow night, and I'm nervous.
I think people meet at meetups more often than people meet at singles events because of the way the thing is structured.
Hi, I'm 23 and I've never had a boyfriend.
Okay, I turned 40 this year and I've never been in love. I've never been in.
I would love if we could be honest and rebrand singles events as the truth, which is a perfect place to meet your brand new platonic best friend. Men don't go to these. Men do not go to singles events. Stop paying money to go to singles events. Men don't go. Stop it.
So I have to cancel the singles event that I planned to be on my farm this weekend. Y'all know I'm an event planner and I have a fish farm, and I advertised a Fishing for Love event where singles could come here and fish and have dinner and meet each other in person, not on a dating app. And 5 women RSVP'd yes, and 1 man. And even the 1 man that did RSVP did it through one of the ladies. Now, I did all of my marketing specifically towards men because I knew that the women would RSVP. I promoted the event on 45 different Facebook groups, specifically about hunting, fishing, camping, country life, and all local to my area. I know that my post reached over 12,000 people specific to the age group, the gender, and the interest that I just described. And yet, no man RSVP.
Let's just be real about this, okay? You need to think about the kind of people that would even go to a singles event like this, and especially for the women. I haven't even watched this video, but I can basically guarantee you every single one of them that we're going to see is like 30 plus, 35 plus, and men around this age range of, 30 to 35, all of them have basically settled down already, or they're hitting their dating peak, or they're just getting so many options, they don't even have to go out there like that and find a singles event.
A lot of these men realize that when a woman put him in the friend zone, that's not really, and a woman was like, oh, well, maybe, if you're in the friend zone, then maybe it's not now. It could be, later on. Or think of it as a waiting room. No, the friend zone for a lot of women is a burial ground. It's a burial. And I'm not going to sit here and wait until you decide after you'd have been pumped and dumped by so many men. I'm not going to sit up here and wait. Oh, yeah, I think we can be more than friends now. Girl, shut up.
What is the exact moment a man will typically stop begging for love? A lot of women expect men to be loud about it or scream or yell, and usually it's very quiet. When a man realizes that nothing he gives will change anything, that you don't appreciate it, that you don't see it, that you don't keep track of it, that you don't care about it, you just demand more constantly, that's typically when he'll stop. And I know this is counterintuitive to so much of the advice we see scrolling online that, oh, just demand more, ask for this, ask for that. But the reality is, he notices, and it becomes discouraging because he feels like he's the only one giving in the relationship. And that doesn't mean he doesn't love you. He may love you more than anything in the world, but he doesn't love himself and who he's become around you because he's not appreciated, he's exhausted, he's overwhelmed, and just overall doesn't feel good about the relationship and where it's heading. When a man is doing everything to hold it together and he feels unwanted, unseen, unappreciated, and he starts to feel that way, and then he starts noticing that you don't even reciprocate, that's when his respect dies for you. And then he starts to realize he cannot talk without being attacked. Anytime he brings up an issue, you immediately go on the defense. You immediately argue with him over what his feelings are or whether or not they're valid, when the reality is they're valid either way. And you don't always have to agree with him. That's not what he's expecting. But he expects to be heard. He expects to be seen. Just like he validates your feelings when you're upset and you're venting to him, he wants the same exact feeling. Next, he noticed that his efforts only matter when you actually need something. That's the only time you give him affection. That's the only time you care about his needs, when he's meeting all of your needs first. You don't reach out. If he's going through a rough time, and he's always the one giving, or he's going through a rough time and he can't give you as much for a little while, and you just completely stop showing up in the relationship, he notices. Maybe not at first, maybe he lets it go for a little while, but this is a consistent pattern. He's going to catch on, and that makes him stop wanting to give you the love that you once got. A lot of men know that they're only valued when they're useful. They just know that. I mean, that's how his life has always been. And in his relationship, this is the one place where he doesn't want to have to feel like that. He doesn't want to feel like the relationship is one-sided and he's being used. And ultimately, when you don't reciprocate, when a relationship is one-sided, that's what he feels, is used. He feels like you are using him. And enough men feel like that every single day. They go to work where they have, maybe coworkers that are a problem for him, or maybe he doesn't love his boss right now and things are just rough, and he doesn't want to come home and have to compete with you or feel like he's being used by you as well. How do you know your man is at this point? He stops talking about his feelings completely. And to be fair, there's a lot of men out there who don't feel comfortable or safe in their relationships to do that. But if he previously was talking about those things and now he never does, that's a huge red flag. He'll stop reminding you. He'll stop bringing up what he wants. Because at that point, the conflict just isn't worth it. And he's gradually checking out. A lot of women assume, oh, we're the only ones that leave before actually leaving the relationship. Men sometimes do this too, because they're secretly hoping that you'll wake up one day and be like, oh my gosh, I'm losing him. I want him in my life. He means everything to me. And then for you to step up and make an effort. But when you don't do that, he starts to check out and he's like, okay, I need to leave this relationship. Next, he'll stop trying to make you happy. He'll just sort of give up. He'll stop putting as much effort into the relationship. Maybe he's playing more video games, hanging out with his friends, doing his own thing. And to be fair, we all go through phases like this where our partner's kind of on the back burner for a little bit, and that's okay. Sometimes we change our priorities a little bit, and that can be okay within reason. But if he's consistently doing this and not changing and not spending time with you, that's a red flag that this is the path he's going down. Men know that they're only 50% of the relationship. He can give you everything. He can try his best. But again, if you're not reciprocating, there's nothing he can do about that. He cannot fix the relationship by himself, and he knows that.
Most women are overly dramatic. They know how to lie to you. They know how to be deceptive. They know how to change the narrative to be the victim, and we are so good at it, which is why you have to use what I call the minimize, maximize rule. Let me explain. If you use this rule, I promise you that you will be able to decipher and understand what actually happened when a woman is telling you a story. Because we are so good at convincing you guys that we are the victim, and sometimes we're not the victim. We're just so used to getting our way and gaining sympathy and getting what we want if we are the victim in most situations. And just a side note, you can absolutely validate a woman's experience. You don't have to invalidate her, but you can dial it back and know that she's being overly dramatic about situations to gain more sympathy. All of the dramatic parts of a story that a woman is telling you, you need to minimize that by 3. What do I mean? When she says he's verbal, does she just mean that he's being an asshole? When she tells you that she was emotionally, does that mean that he didn't fall for her over-dramatic presentation and her fake tears? Even though she ignored his physical needs throughout the entire relationship, and that's the part that she's not going to tell you. When she says he was narcissistic, it means that she couldn't control him, she couldn't control the narrative, and she couldn't get him to listen to her. When she tells you that her ex was financially, sometimes you got to ask yourself, was he trying to control her spending because she has poor spending habits and she overspent? Again, over-dramatizing every situation to gain sympathy and play the victim. We are so good at convincing other people that we could do no wrong and that we're the victim, which is why all of the stories you need to minimize by 3. She'll tell you that her ex didn't give her enough of attention, but the parts that she leaves out is she didn't feel like he gave enough attention because she was getting attention from guys in her DMs. She'll say that she was unhappy the entire relationship, but she'll leave out the parts where she was comparing herself to other people on the internet or comparing herself to her newly divorced friends or even friends that are happily married. And ask her how many of her friends are newly divorced, because who has gotten in her ear to convince her to break up her last relationship or her marriage in the first place. She'll say her ex was controlling, but maybe he refused to put up with her disrespect. She'll say he always raised his voice, but maybe he was just trying to reiterate a boundary and an expectation that she wasn't listening to or hearing because she always wanted to challenge his expectations. She'll say that her ex was rude, mean, and selfish, but she'll leave out the parts where she was condescending, belittling, and passive-aggressive, which is why all of the drama that she tells you, you need to minimize it by 3. The only exception to any of this is when you have to maximize this rule by 3. So for example, if she says that she has high standards, just know that if you're ugly or just basic average, you need to multiply those standards by 3. But if you're an attractive guy, you need to minimize those standards by 3. Because standards get minimized if she finds you more attractive. When she tells you that she's in debt, this is another example of where you're going to maximize the expectation, and you're not going to maximize it by 3, you maximize it by 5, unless she shows you proof otherwise. And the same rule applies for her body count. If she tells you a number, multiply that by 3. So you should always be using the maximize, minimize tool in situations for women, because we are overly dramatic and we make up these narratives and these stories in our head to convince ourselves that we are the victim, and it works every single time. And 9 times out of 10, you will believe these women because we are so good at deception. Okay, bye.
You know, a lot of these modern women don't really understand that the grand gestures you're looking for, men stop doing those when they figured out it was content for you. When him trying to be romantic for you has become a production, has become, oh, now I'm performing for you, oh, now I'm your content. I was looking at a clip the other day where a woman, a man, she was like, oh man, we want men to yearn, we want men to beg, we want men to simp for us. And there was a man that was in her DMs, I think singing happy birthday to her. She put that online, and her friend were sitting up there laughing about it in the video. Laughing about it. Why would you do that? Even if you didn't like the man, why the heck would you do that? What a loser.